So do you think that the proudly trumpeted sense of freedom in Britain has been illusory for a long time?
Yeah, I think a lot of national mythology in many countries is illusory. There's obviously a reason why it's important to indoctrinate your population to believe that the society into which they were born is one to which they ought to be grateful. There are massive benefits for the people who benefit most from the society to convince the majority that they aren't just, it's not just a situation they ought to accept, but for which they ought to be grateful. In all of these countries that have long storied histories and kind of the ability to write history in a form of victor's justice, which is, of course, the United States and the UK coming out of World War II and kind of the post-World War framework that aligned with that ability to tell that story, is something that citizens in most countries feed on from the time that we're born. And even when the reality starts to quite transparently deviate from that mythology, it takes a while for the population to catch up because it's so deeply embedded in our brains that this is something that we ought to believe. But I think at some point when the situation becomes as extreme as it is now, you see the population start to realize, wait a minute, these establishments that I was taught to be loyal to and appreciative of are ones that, in fact, don't have my interest at heart at all. They lie to me constantly. They seem to be interested in everything except the lives and material well-being of myself and my family. And I think that a loss of faith and trust in these institutions, even though we've been inculcated from birth to revere them, is a major factor shaping not just Western politics, but also the backlash on the part of governments and elites to that loss of faith.